Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. This Birds of a Feather podcast with your boy Q City. Now, I'm operating on black people timing. I get it. Right? Main thing is I wanted to make sure this went out before today's game. Um, Timing really messed us up this week. So I will be doing episode 101, Berlin in a Bind, and the betting pod right after this. So just want to get these in before the game starts today. Actually wanted to tell y'all I'm live in Mercedes Benz. Well, I'm parked right now, but I'm definitely gonna be in the building for the game. Um, just wanted to discuss last week. So this one, it's gonna be a full episode, but obviously it's not gonna be super long. Um, Frustrated, right? Really frustrated by what transpired over the game last week. Everybody and their mama talks about Zach Robinson, right? And what he does and doesn't do for the offense. But converting 3 first downs in the span of 3 weeks is ridiculous. There is no world in which the offensive capabilities that we have don't allow us to like make sure we're operating at a high level. Now, when I look at Penix's performance, right? Penix objectively had a bad game. And that's okay to say, right? Like I think two things could be true. Zach Robinson is not putting him in the best position to succeed, and Penix did not play well. It was all over Twitter. I saw it noticing, like watching the game, it was disgusting. Is that like he's doing right-handed layoffs or laying off with his right hand, play actioning to turn around and then re-square up to throw with his left hand. And it's just like, just that type of stuff where it's like, are we not flipping the offense properly for a left-handed quarterback? Like, it's stuff like that that really has you like, what are we doing on the offensive end of the ball? It sounds weird, right? It sounds weird when you say Jonathan Taylor had over 200 yards and Jonathan Taylor had over 200 yards. Daniel Jones had 255, which is like higher than most teams have had against us. When you're saying both of those things, right? But then in the same breath, you say, hey, I think overall the defense played a great game. People are going to be like, what are you talking about? But if you watch the game, the defense kept you in the game. They scored 31 points in overtime, right? So like 25 in regulation. Your offense came alive late, but like Atlanta stalled drives out. Atlanta stopped drives with our two high performing rookies. It's just overall, like, I don't think anybody came away watching the defense. And this is the third 30 burger that's been put on this defense. I don't think anybody who's objectively watching the game is really like on the defense like that. Like, it's pretty clear and obvious that the offensive side of the ball is what's holding this team back. Bijan not getting the ball. Yes, it's beyond frustrating, but it's really at a point to where it's like, hey, why can we not get our best player the ball? Right? Bijan had 17 carries and I think it was 2 catches for 4 yards, right? So 88 total yards. Yes, they keyed in on him. Algier was able to get the ball going. Prior to, Algier had 3 carries in like 2 games. And like, Nick Wright, and I consume sports media. You got to consume to produce. But he said something on one of his shows this week. I think where he was talking about the mountain was, too often I feel like Atlanta is trying to justify Michael Penix rather than win the game. And boy, if that was not a word, because that is how I feel sometimes. Like, I think Michael Penix is going to be a good quarterback. I think he has the tools and potential to be a great quarterback. But if that's not where he is right now, it doesn't matter that he's 25 years old. If that is not who he is right now today, you need to be putting him in the best position to win games. And I don't feel like offensively that's what you're like, how you call the game, how you set things up, that's what you're doing. Um, the main points I wanted to get to: couldn't make a stop late in the game. Tyler Warren went off. Went away from Kyle Pitts yet again. Start the game off early. Yes, he had that big drop early, but you just completely go away from him. And then the firing of Ike Hilliard. What did that accomplish? Like, Drake has gone off, right? So, like, was it beef between Drake and Ike? Drake has gone off, but like every other wide receiver production has been absolutely buds. Like, we need another wide receiver. And just to keep it streamlined, right? So Ike Hilliard gets fired. Ray McCloud gets let go. Raheem comes out and says, oh yeah, Darnell Mooney broke his collarbone first day of training camp. One, why are we offering up that information? Two, yet again, hiding injuries, right? Like we didn't just get in trouble for it like before, right? It was a different regime with Bijan and Arthur Smith, but like, bro, this is consistent. Why can we just not be honest and transparent about the injuries that guys have? He was never listed on the injury report as a collarbone issue. And like, to be completely honest, all we're doing is sitting here and crapping on Mooney week after week after week. Oh man, we need a different wide receiver too. We need to move things up. Like, dude is dealing with a broken collarbone. Was never listed out. It's ridiculous. It is truly ridiculous that we accept this, right? I still think we need to like address the wide receiver position, right? Because like Casey Washington fan cast, bro. But like, I don't think Casey's it, bro. I don't think Casey's it. Not in no mean way or anything like that. He has not stayed healthy on the field. He has not made plays, right? Our only receiving threat is Drake London. Consistently from the wide receiver core is Drake London. Bijan is really getting keyed up on receptions. And then Kyle Pitts, like, you're scheming him open. I think Kyle's done enough to, get a decent contract. It's not going to be top of the market. I feel like you can sign Kyle Pitts for 10 to 12 a year over the course of the next. Honestly, and I said this in the past offseason, 4 for 48 seems like sweet spot for him. 4 for 48, to be honest. You front load it, you can get out the contract in 2 years. If in 2 years you want to pay him again, that's good money. In 3 years you want to pay him again, that's even better money, right? But this is going to be like a $12 million contract, $12 million a year contract. If I'm Kyle, I push and they want to like screw me on the AAV, where it's like, they're trying to get me closer to 10 than 12. I'm signing a 2-year deal, right? I think money's going to be out there for Kyle this offseason. It would not be surprised if it's a team like the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? If it's a team like the Texans, if it's that type of team that decides to take him on, because he has the talent and the skill set. It's just we are not putting him in the best positions to succeed. So, and then I think that pushes to the last topic, right? Which is, if we could, excuse me, if we continue down this road, I don't see any world in which Raheem keeps his job after the end of this season. I just don't see it happening. I brought up the fact that he lost his last 10 in a row in Tampa, right? He started that season 4-2. We started this season 3-3. Lost 3 in a row. Blowouts against the Panthers and the Dolphins. If we continue to slide down this path, it's going to be over. They're not going to let him like just harpoon multiple seasons, right? And I think back to what Raheem did to Josh Freeman and how much that stunted his development as an ascending quarterback because Raheem was his coach. You can't allow that same thing to happen to Penix. And I want I think he's going to be good. I think he can be the guy. But if he's not going to show that week in and week out, make the hard decisions to, get somebody else other than Zach Robinson to push and go toward the right direction, then he's got to go. He's got to go. And it's just, it's not mean, rude, anything like that. It's just, it's time, right? Going into today's game versus the Carolina Panthers, they're coming off a win, or they're coming off a loss. Carolina's a 500 team. Moving up in the division, they have had a limited quarterback, but they have decided that we're going to build up the rest of the team around said quarterback, right? And it's hard to fault their mindset behind it because it's working, right? They're truly building a team. With that being the case, I still think that we have some trouble stopping the run, but I think that we can put up enough this week to, one, not have a 30-0 beatdown, but then two, put our best foot forward, win this game, and start a 3-game win streak. I've said multiple times, I see us going from 3-3 to 6-6. We got Carolina, we got the Jets coming up, we got another bad team in there. But the point is, we can move to 6-6 pretty decently. I think we played the Saints, actually. So we can move to 6-6. Once you're 6-6, things start to change. But you got to go 1-0 every week, which means you got to go 1-0 this week against the Carolina Panthers. Already beat you 30-0 in the season. I think your idea of winning the division is completely gone. Right now, you need to fight to keep your NFC losses low and push toward making the playoffs. When it comes to the division, Tampa's leading the division right now. Carolina's 2, Atlanta's 3, Saints are last. But the Saints aren't too far behind us. We got 3 wins. They got 1. So, or they got 2. They either got 1 or 2. Either way, as you can see, I'm kind of doing this off the dome in front of the stadium. So, yeah, I want to see more from the team. I want to believe that this team didn't just put forward a whole nother wasted season, right? 2 years into Penix's draft class, you got Jaden, who was seen as a top 5 kind of quarterback. Caleb is putting out great film, great tape. Chicago might be in the mix for a playoff spot this year. You got Drake May, who's in serious MVP talks and might have the Patriots as the number 1 seed. You got Bo Nix, who's already got a playoff appearance under his belt, and the Broncos really could win their division this year. Now, he hasn't played super well, but there's enough of a team built around him to get things done. And then with the JJ McCarthy he hasn't played as much, but when he has played, I think he's 2-1, right? There's enough out there. You don't want to be the worst quarterback in this class. You're not the worst quarterback in this class. I feel like there's more than enough evidence to show that you have what it takes. We just got to put Penix in better positions. His comments were kind of blown out of proportion. Him and Raheem came back and said it, but I mean, I hate to say it because this is what me and Tosh talked about certain conversations not leaving the Black community, right? Where it's there are times in which I want to be critical of Raheem, but I also have to be cognizant of the fact that he is a Black coach. He's a Black coach who got a second chance, which it's hard pressed to happen. So I'm not trying to just shit on him, but he is proving himself to be unnecessarily untrustworthy while also making stupid mistakes with the media. And so it's hard to keep vouching for the man, bro. I expect more out of him. I expect more out of the team, but I expect more out of him. Especially considering you've been a head coach before. You took a long period of time off. You've got ownership. You've got good ownership behind you. This is your second stint in Atlanta. You understand the city. You understand the fan base. You should be able to put your best foot out there. Put your best foot forward. All right. Don't have any city talk for this week. You guys, the schedule is set. We will have that done. Tuesdays at 5, Wednesdays at 5. That's what'll happen. 5 o'clock Central. It'll be 6 o'clock. It'll be 6 o'clock this time, Eastern time. For the episode on Tuesday, Betting Pod on Wednesday, on Thursday will be the Hawks Pod at same exact time. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. It's been your boy Q City, and I'm out. Peace.